Alrighty, hello and good day. It's Weeb Hunter, and I'm just making this video today because recently I've watched Flats and Emong's video about the bans on PC and all consoles, and I've been watching Questron's videos also about the bans. Uh, why is that important? Because I'm a Sombra main, and we're gonna talk. So before we get into patches and balances, I wanted to do a brief introduction to, I guess, who Sombra was. So Sombra originally evolved from an early concept called Omniblade, which was a Japanese ninja throwing daggers kind of character who also hacked. This concept was shelved, but later reworked into the Sombra that we know, with a Mesoamerican hacker theme incorporated by stealth and EMP. That's pretty important because I think we all know who currently is the Japanese kind of ninja character, and it's the sport character Kiriko. So I don't think that original aesthetic would work as well. But it's neat to know that that's where it came from. So after watching all these videos, I wanted to try and solve the problem. I mean, I've kind of played Sombra a lot. I have 500 hours on her out of my 1,000 or so hours in Overwatch altogether. So I kind of like the character, and I don't like trolling with the character. So I decided to ask the good old AI Grok if he could help me compile some information and make me a little list of the top 5 problems that people mostly complain about when it comes to Sombra. And it took my man Grok the AI about 20 minutes to compile all that information. And if you use Grok to compile information, you gotta know that that's a hefty minute. So, I guess here are the top 5 things that Grok came up with. So, Grok pretty much concluded that people don't like her hack, people don't like her stealth, people don't like that Overwatch 2 gave her so much damage, people don't like the fact that she seems to have no really effective counter, and tank players especially do not like how much she shuts him down. Well, shuts them down. Why don't they like the hack? They just don't like ability uses being prevented. Why don't they like the stealth? The invisibility and translocator combo reduces counterplay, making her hard to track and eliminate. For increased damage, post rework, she dealt so much more damage, she's able to stay in the fight longer, and she was seen as slightly overpowered. I do think they reeled that in quite a bit. The lack of effective counters, I kind of get it. It's like what, Winston, Brig, Mei, Torbjorn, Symmetra, Reinhardt. You just gotta get close to her. As long as you can disrupt hack, that's fine in my opinion, but you know. Impact on tank heroes, yeah, getting your mitigation ability shut down is the biggest thing out there. The 6-second shutdown on tanks needed to be taken away. I think where it's at like 1.5 seconds, 1 second, half a second. Really, as long as you can shut down channeling ults, that's the big thing. In conclusion, Grok says these problems reflect the community's ongoing concerns with Sombra's design, particularly, that's apparently a hard word for me, her disruptive abilities and balanced post-rework. The analysis shows a mix of frustration with her mechanics and her impact on gameplay, with reworks attempting to address these, but not fully satisfying all players, which is true. She's always been in kind of a hard spot. But yeah, I think we gotta look at some patches for that information. Alright, so when it comes to patches, I have no desire to read off every patch in Overwatch's history when it comes to Sombra. I think the main one to focus on is going to be apparently the July 24th, 2018 patch. This is when stealth became infinite, when you could just stay in stealth forever. That is what I know as the Doomsday patch. That is the patch that killed Sombra. That is the patch that buried her and put her into the ground and pretty much gave Sombra the name that she has today. Because what that allowed people to do is it allowed your teammates, if they were having a bad time, if they were doing anything, and we all know toxicity exists in gameplay and we remember the bad times way more than we remember the good times. It's just a psychological fact. But it would allow your teammate Sombra to sit just somewhere off in the map, invisible the entire game, and not interact, and only choose to interact during the what's it called, inactivity timer, so that they didn't get kicked. And throw games as Sombra, and Sombra became an easy pick to literally throw games with because you can just do that, and it was an easy way to get like 0 and 0 0 and like 3 stats. Alright, they did not actually take away infinite stealth for a long time, and they needed to. And I think a lot of the hate of Sombra actually comes from that time and still exists in people's mind today. And you cannot fix that with patches or reworks or anything like that. That's just... you can't. Now, next I would say the most important one would be the Season 7, October 10th one. Mostly because it gave Virus. I think Virus is good, it's a skill shot. It really, the common debate I think between Sombra players is she an assassin or is she a quote-unquote disruptor? And if she's a quote-unquote disruptor, then what does disruptor mean? And to me, in the context of Overwatch, quote-unquote disruptor means somebody who does shut down abilities, but not primary fire. It's just the simple facts, and I think that in Overwatch, it's actually a necessary evil due to the fact that we have characters like Doomfist, Wrecking Ball, and Tracer. And I don't know about everyone else's lobbies, but I have friends who play from like Diamonds Masters all the way down to Bronze. And we gotta do the 6v6 and try to fight the bans in there when we're getting into some of these lobbies. And of course, Sombra's banned all the time, so usually we get Doomfists kind of getting to play Dead by Daylight with our support again. I would say those are probably the two major patches in Sombra's history that were like really significant to how she kind of played the game and the community's opinion of her. That again being infinite stealth and Virus. Like I said, getting rid of the indefinite stealth was good. I think Virus is good just as a playstyle kit because, in my opinion, DPS characters should be the characters that eliminate, but, you know. Alright, now how to solve the issue of Sombra being the most banned hero. At this point in time, I don't think you do. I think a large part of it is people just gotta be mad at Sombra and gotta vent that frustration out, you know? They gotta be able to ban her and forget the reasons why they ban her, and I tell you, I'm a good reminder of why you ban Sombra. But beyond that, I think we're already moving in the right direction without kind of going a whole rework. We got a Virus, we got a Translocator. I'm still in the boat of Sombra players of Stealth and Translocator being separate. I'm fine with cooldowns being increased in reaction to that kind of stuff. It's just kind of a gameplay thing that I personally was used to. I've been playing here for so long, I'm used to the whole Translocator 15 seconds, go press your button for stealth for 6 seconds. If you get hit, you're immediately out of stealth, have to translocate back, you've just ruined your whole engage. So yeah, I'm understanding of the invis kind of thing. But yeah, it's a conversation. I would love to see maybe a dev talk with Aaron Keller. And I know the original Sombra designer probably isn't kicking around on that team anymore, but who's ever currently handling Sombra's caseload, I would love if they can maybe tell us some of their struggles that they might be having with the character and some of the things that they've really enjoyed. Because yeah, I enjoy the character. I've enjoyed pretty much all iterations of the character. Weak Sombra, strong Sombra. You know, the first times that I started to pay attention to the patches was back when they said Sombra can hack tracers through walls, and the tracer community said it wasn't fair. And boy, oh boy, I will say this, at that point in time, the biggest babies to me in the Overwatch community was not the Mercy Mafia, it was the Tracer Brigade, complaining that they couldn't go in and wipe the entire backline anymore because they can blink around, and because of the mechanics of Blink, Sombra could still hack her if she blinked around a corner. But yeah, I understand for fluidity that had to go away, and that's fine. I think that is a very fair kind of change. right? You see, like I said, I've liked all Sombras. But I just don't like the toxic Sombra players. But yeah, I guess that's my conclusion. If you like my video, give me a like, give me a follow. Give me a subscribe, yeah? And yeah, make sure to watch the people who I mentioned as well before. Thanks. Peace. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba.